Okay, so I'm going to open up the show by talking about rental demand. Patrick, because I mentioned this to you about a month ago, I said since Thanksgiving, and it started the Thanksgiving weekend, I saw rental demand across my entire portfolio and that I manage hundreds and hundreds of doors. The rental demand started going down. We started really drying up quick, man. I got to tell you, it's like a tap turning off. And I called you and said, Patrick, I'm seeing something in the trenches here. It's a little concerning. And I actually reached out to our trusted partners, Carla at RPM, Real Property Management. She's been seeing the same thing, by the way. Well, I'm happy to report that this weekend, the tap turned back on, literally just like that. Now we're getting way more showings again, way more inquiries again. If we used to get, say, 50, 60 inquiries a day, it had went down to like 10 inquiries a day. I'm talking about an 80% drop in inquiries. Now we're back to where we want to be. So rental demand is back. I was a little scared there, dude. I got to tell you, I was a little scared for a while. I thought, shit, I hope this isn't going to be permanent.
Okay. So I want to bring up a couple things. I remember that conversation and I kind of scratched my head. I went, really? Are you kidding me? Like, that makes no sense. That's the first thing I said. And then secondly, what you just said, now think about that. I was used to getting 50, 60 inquiries and now it's down to 10. Okay, I remember times where I would like to get 2. So, we normalize this kind of rate of activity, if you will, and then all of a sudden, only 10 inquiries. You got to be kidding me. Anyways, I'm glad to hear it's coming back up. I'm not surprised by that, given what's happening in the rental market, JG. And I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so.
Oh, of course. You always tell me. There's no doubt about it. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, you always tell me.
You can't debate the data. The data just tells the truth.
Yeah, so you're right. But I'm glad to see because, yes, even though we were still getting, a good amount of inquiries, it was an 80% drop. And I got to say that it did make a difference, though, Patrick, because there were apartments that typically I would have rented for November 1st. Now they're going to be rented as of December 1st. So, there's a month of vacancy in there because of that little bit of slowdown. The question I have is, why do you think it happened? Because I've been kind of coming up with different reasons why I think it happened. Why do you think there was a bit of a temporary slowdown, and why do you think it's coming back right now? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think you have to look at where you are regionally, and I was surprised when you had said you talked to Carla and that she had seen a similar slowdown. I don't think it was widespread. Like, I don't think it was everywhere. And I think it was, as the markets are often, it was very regional.
Carla's experience across the country
was
happening to her everywhere.
I don't have an answer to that one.
Yeah. Well, I think what's happening, I'll tell you, is I think that people are being beat up by the news. I think they're tired of seeing, when something is in your face all day, every day about the various, problems we have and challenges we have, people just get, they get fed up, they get tired. And I think that after Thanksgiving, people just needed kind of like a break. And I think people took that break and just started kind of, and you always talk about how people keep their hands in their pocket and they press pause on certain things, and moving is a big, unless you have to, moving is a big life interruption. So people, I think, were just taking a pause from that life interruption called I want to move somewhere, and just put their hands in the pocket. But I think what's happening now is the weather has turned. In my part of the world anyways, that we got our first snowfall last night. I don't want to talk about it. It's depressing. But anyways, the weather's turned. We got some snow. It's getting cold. So people are like, oh shit, if I don't make this move now, I'm going to have to wait till the spring. So what's happening is the weather's kind of pushing people, as well as the new year. They know if they don't make this move in the next 4 weeks, then it's going to, they're going to be putting it off until late January. And for some people, that's too long. So I think it's weather and seasonality of the business that has kicked it back into gear, which is good. It's great for us.
Well, and there's a normalizing of costs. I mean, cost is an expense. There's an expense when it comes to moving. And even if you're doing it yourself, there's a cost associated with it out of pocket. And I still think there's an adjustment period that people are going through right now with the overall cost of living, given inflation, food and fuel, and, the cost of living overall. So, yeah.
Don't even talk to me about fuel. Filling up my dually at $2.40 a liter diesel is flipping ridiculous. I'm not going to get into it, but rental demand is back. Topic covered. I missed the camera there, but I tried to, throw it at the camera. You saw what I tried to do.
Good try.